It is a beautiful day for some DSA, and welcome back to the Cozy Club, my friends. My name is Cozy Gamer, and for today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 things that you need to do to be prepared for the upcoming game modes, that is raids. Now, we don't know exactly when they're going to come, but we know they're going to be an instrumental part to DSA of getting different resources, getting ready for the new gear coming. And so you want to make sure that you're going to be doing these 5 things that we talk about today so that when that game mode comes, you are fully prepared as the wise lion Scar. Now, if Disney Sorcerer's Arena's raids are anything like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, we know that they're going to be very important in getting resources and different characters that are not unlockable in any other way. So choosing to ignore the raid is just not going to be an option, so you might as well just add these things into your daily routine. I've got stuff for in-game players and also anyone at any point in your DSA journey. Ursula is going to be an unlockable character, and my guess is you're going to have her unlocked after going through different tiers within this raid, as we've broken down in some of my previous videos. Again, no matter if you're early, mid, or late game, if you just started playing or you've been playing since global launch, you are going to be a vital piece to your club's overall success in defeating Ursula and winning the raid, guys. We don't know the spoils of riches that we're going to get for taking down the Sea Witch, but we can assume it's going to be some really good loot like gear and, again, access to some tokens in the raid exchange. I went ahead and threw up this photo on my Twitter to see what you guys would best want. Also, leave in the comments, who would you want farmable in the raid exchange from looking at this picture, or entirely a different character? I want to see what you guys have to say and what characters you want to see in the raid exchange, or in general, what do we want to see within the raid exchange. Now, these tips are going to be great for early, mid, and late game players, but this first tip, we're going to jump right into it, is for late game players, and that is going to be gear up your Hiro Hamada. Now, yes, he's the best character in the game, and other than that, I mean, he's just a smart character to gear up in general, but we have a great, strong feeling that Gear 8 will be coming out with the raids. And why do we think that? We've talked about the Relic of the Depths gear that we saw teased. Whenever you max out a character, it says this gear is not available, and it has a great big Ursula tentacle. And now that we have everything else kind of confirmed, it's looking like Tier 8 is going to be available once the raids are released. So why start working towards Tier 7.5 on your Hiro Hamada? Well, it's easy, guys. At Tier 8, he is simply going to be the most dominant leader. He already is the most dominant leader, but continue to be the most dominant leader within DSA. If you go down to his leadership ability, you can see right here that he'll be getting a 5% speed boost on his leadership, which we don't know if that's going to be both for tech and for Big Hero 6. Is that going to be an overall 10% boost, which is absolutely bonkers? But if that is the case, this is going to be the character that you first want to take up to Tier 8. So if you're watching my top 10 characters to invest in, I'm always talking about Hiro Hamada. And if you're a free-to-play Chubby Dolphin or a pay-to-play player in this game, you want to make sure you get him up to T7 right away. And now it is worth taking him up to T7.5. Now, this is a long journey and it takes a lot of time. So go ahead, get the gear slapped on him now so that when Tier 8 comes on, you can go ahead and get those other 2 pieces and take him to Tier 8 and his leadership upgraded as soon as possible. And on that note, Cozy Club, you can rest assured we're going to do a full video of the best characters to take up to T8 outside of Hiro Hamada, but I want to get the message out there early on so that you guys can start farming towards him, getting that gear up, and so you can just slap on those last 2 pieces. All right, tip number 2, Cozy Club, is going to be look at your entire roster of characters and start making different teams. Now, you should have already done this in Club Conquest. However, you want to start doing this for raids in anticipation for raids. We don't quite know who's going to be good in raids. We don't know about harmful effects if they're going to land on Ursula. We don't know a lot of the mechanics about it. We just have a little bit of the Q&A that we've seen from the raid. However, start looking now. No matter how bad your characters are, make as many teams as possible, because trust me, guys, every bit of damage is going to count. So we broke down on my video the other day that there's going to be 4 different phases, and there's going to be obviously a large health bar that everybody in the club is going to work against. Now, yes, you're going to get your butt kicked, and there's going to be teams that you throw in there probably only get a little bit of damage out before they die. But trust me, when you have a full club of 50 different members, the damage really starts to rack up, and it can make the difference of whether if you complete a phase or even the raid entirely, or at least that's how it was within Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So the best thing you can do so you don't forget the teams that you have theory crafted and put together is go to that save teams icon on the bottom, start building those teams, put spells with them so you know exactly what teams you want to take into the raid as soon as it's ready to go. So if you're not feeling comfortable on your roster or the characters and the team potentials that you have within your roster, feel free to join me on the Twitch stream. We go through this all of the time. I'll be talking about this on my streams this week about some potential teams to put together for the raids. Or if you want some more one-on-one conversation, feel free to join the Patreon family down in the description below. I do full roster reviews for all of my Patreon members. If any Patrons are watching this now, hit me up for a roster review. I go through your entire roster. I look at what are your strengths and weaknesses, who you should focus on first, second, some fun projects, and everything in between. So again, feel free to join that. All right, lastly here on point number 2, make sure you look at all of the leaderships within the game. You want to make sure you have some type of lead, even if it's not a great one like Dr. F or Syndrome. Make sure you have a lead with your team, because typically that's going to give you a lot better advantage, and it's much better going into a battle with a lead than none at all. Tip number 3, my friends, is going to be Hoard. Now, we don't know what the best characters are going to be within the raid, and so the best way to prepare for this is just to keep all of your resources, especially as free-to-play. It's so tough to come by gold, betas. I mean, everybody's got level up potions, but pretty much everything else is hard to come by within DSA, and you don't want to spend it on the wrong characters before the raid if X character is super helpful and effective within the raids. And so it is hard. We don't know when they're coming out, but start saving up those resources, start getting those materials ready so that when it does come, you know exactly where to dump those resources. You guys can come to this channel. We're going to be doing loads of content on the raid and talking about, again, the best teams for each phases, the best teams in general, and the best characters to use, and then you can safely use your resources there. If you have a ridiculous amount of resources and you're like, Cozy, I want to use my resources, I want to progress my roster, I can't wait for this forever, then guys, I would say that would go right into our next tip, and that is going to be farm and start leveling up Prince Eric, King Triton, and Ariel. Now, yes, I know you might not be the biggest Little Mermaid fan, and you might not even think you need these characters, but raids are not going anywhere, guys. They're going to be, again, a big part of this game where you get a lot of resources, getting probably one of the best characters. I'm sure Ursula is going to be amazing, and then we're going to have access to the raid exchange store. And so, again, it's going to be a part of your daily club routine going through this raid. And so Eric has a phenomenal kit built for raids. Both of his passives, his basic, everything is there to take on Ursula and help out your team, giving speed, turn meter, undefeatable, and so much more. So Eric is a definitely safe investment that you want to start leveling up. So just a quick note for those of you that have not watched my Prince Eric spotlight video, again, you can find that up in the top right hand corner. Eric's passive, don't worry, I'll help you. It's going to be just absolutely crucial within a raid. So let's talk about what it's going to do. If Eric has taunt and all of the teammates around him are going below 30% health, anytime that happens, he's going to be giving them a whopping 45% speed turn meter and undefeatable. If he doesn't have taunt, he'll be giving himself 45% speed turn meter so that he can best get another turn up, get that taunt up, or get continuous damage out on Ursula. So Prince Eric definitely has his spot ready and secured in your best raid team. And King Triton, you'll need Ariel to go and unlock her and Prince Eric. However, King Triton's lead is going to be a make or break it as far as getting through probably the tougher parts of the raid. Now, again, we have no idea how it's going to work, but King Triton will be giving speed each and every time his allies are healed within the raid. And so we know that with just Ariel alone, there is so much healing. Think about Dr. F and all the dead shadows. So many possibilities to grant endless speed turn meter. So you want to start working towards this now. If you want to go ahead and put those resources in something useful, put them into Eric, Ariel, and Triton. And so going back to point number 2, if you find yourself lost and you've got just a kingdom team and not really invested in any other teams, or you're brand new to the game and you're just trying to decide what team do I go for to best prepare for the raids? Well, the answer is still going to be Oceanics, mainly because if you go after Eric and Ariel, you're going to be able to get King Triton. You can start working on Bubbles and Gantu, and you're going to have access to Moana and Maui, as you'll need Oceanics to unlock them. And Tower 3, there's just so much at this point that Oceanics can do and help in DSA. And so they're my #1 recommendation of a team to just get ready for raids if you want to be most effective in helping out your club. So we've got level Hiro Hamada. We've got look at your entire roster and start forming some teams. Hoard, and Hoard some more. And then lastly, level up Prince Eric, King Triton, Ariel, and get them ready to go. Now, for the last tip, my friends, of today's video, it's going to be something that's honestly not that hard to do and something everyone should do. And it's find the right club for you. Now, we talked about this on my top mistakes video. Y'all need to find a club that's going to best suit what you're looking to get out of these raids. Now, it's important that your club most likely has a Discord because it's going to take a lot of communication to take down the Sea Witch. So look for a great club. We've got a server within the Cozy Club Discord server. You can find that again in the description below for a looking for club section in there. There's plenty of clubs advertising space within their own alliance. So go ahead, join a great club, guys. Get to know these people because these raids are not going to be easy to do it alone. So you'll be doing it with your fellow club members, guys. There are just so many different type of clubs for every different type of playstyle. So make sure you find a club that's best fit for you. Now, if you're a proactive type of player, feel free to join my Discord. I've got a looking for clubs channel on the Discord, guys, and you can look through all the different clubs. There's some neat graphics. They talk about their club culture and everything in between. And that's going to be very important for the raids. But if you're more of a reactive person, I'm going to create a channel that you can post your profile, your summoner score, whatever you feel fit for other clubs to look at you, and they can go ahead and message you. I want to make sure that you guys are best prepared for the raid and you're with the right family, club, and team to do so. We've got plenty of videos coming for you later this week. And as always, my friend, until next time, stay cozy.